Whenever I look for a role, I want to find not only does the story and the themes and all of the ideas behind the film have to be great, but the character has to be really interesting, has to be unique. And that's why this script in particular really stood out to me, because it would be a challenging role. I'd never done anything like it, to play someone so different to me in a way. So that would definitely be a challenge, but it was quite exciting, and it gave me an opportunity to really experiment and learn about these people and so the challenges that they go through and what they have to deal with. One of the things that I really liked about the script is it wasn't too sort of sentimental, it wasn't too sappy. It was quite a real story, and real relationships and real characters, which is always a lot easier to relate to as an audience and more interesting, I think. Nathan is a really interesting kid. He suffers from Asperger's, and he has a particular fascination with patterns and colours, and he's also a mathematical genius, which is one of the themes of the film. Following him and his peers go to the IMO, where they compete to be the best mathematicians in the world of their age group. And so yeah, he's a very interesting character, and in the film he struggles with lots of different things, like dealing with bullying and how to deal with that, and dealing with the loss of his dad, which is devastating to him, and then dealing with growing up and meeting girls and that sort of thing. What you do as a teenager. For research, I went to see the play for The Curious Incident of The Dog in the Night, and I read the book. I'd read the book before, which is a really good source material for it. And then the documentary, which the film is very loosely based upon, directed by Morgan as well, really gave me an insight into the sort of character of Nathan and his traits, because Nathan's based loosely on Daniel in the documentary. That was really helpful. And me and Jake, one of the other actors who plays Luke, went to a centre where they coach and deal with young people with varying mental illnesses and disabilities, and helping them get through it. And we spoke to them and talked to them about what it was like, some of the physical barriers that they come across, as well as the mental ones. Something that I think spans across a wide range of mental illnesses, and in a lot of cases is that they look at things very, very logically. So they don't understand things like sarcasm, or, I mean, obviously they develop it, but at a young age, they have a very hard time associating sort of sayings which might not make grammatical sense, and to putting them into what they actually mean. Nathan has a lot of those kind of things, which are quite funny in the film. They're quite sweet, but that's definitely one of the difficulties. I just finished doing my GCSEs, finished my maths GCSE, and I decided to drop it. I was done with maths, and then this film came along, and then I had another 2 months of university level maths I had to learn for the film, which is it was interesting. I mean, I enjoy maths, um, but it was hard, because there are so many things. Once you sort of let go of it, you almost forget everything. So coming back to it is quite funny. But then again, I had some great tutors, and I was never in a case where I had to actually figure out a math problem. They would always give me the answers. It was just, to me, being able to understand it helps. Mr. Humphreys, from when Nathan meets him, he's when he starts doing the maths lessons, he immediately sort of forms a sort of connection, because Nathan accepts people who I think one of the things that he really helps to accept people is whether they're good at maths or not, and that's why he has a struggle with his mum, because she can't appreciate the things that Nathan does, whereas Mr. Humphreys is an exceptional mathematical professor. So Nathan really bonds with him quite quickly and has a way of understanding with him. Because the film is so focused on Nathan's journey, you don't really notice almost how much people are changing around him. And so Mr. Humphries at the start of the film is him and Nathan quite a jokey relationship. But by the end of it, Mr. Humphries is really attached to Nathan and they're very close and he really understands him. And so it's really sweet. It's a great relationship, I think. Eddie is such a nice guy, and his character is very funny, and he's quite witty, and I think that's very contrasting to Humphrey's sort of quite dry sense of humour. And so Nathan is a bit put off by that, I think, but yeah, I got on so well with Eddie. I think all of the actors. As a professor in real life, you would want to push your students, and in Nathan's case, because he's quite shy and he doesn't have that sort of outward energy that a lot of the other classmates do, they outshine him in a way, and so that's why Richard pushes him sort of not off the edge, but close to it. When they first meet in Taiwan, they're strangers, they don't know each other, but immediately Nathan sort of sees something that's quite interesting about this girl, and I mean he's never had any sort of relationship with a girl in his life, and he doesn't even know what that would be and what that would mean, and so for him to experience these feelings which are completely new to him is sort of it's quite scary for him. We all got on so well. We all bonded really quickly, and we had a great time both in Sheffield and Cambridge, where we shot in the UK, and then 2.5 weeks in Taiwan, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, within the film, they know that they're competing against each other, and there's very obvious groups of friends, of which Nathan isn't part of really. Neither is Luke. They're on the edge. They're sort of segregated almost. It's the first time I've ever been to Taiwan. I think the majority of the cast had ever been to Taiwan, so we had a great sort of journey there, and it was a learning experience for all of us, I think. And then take the into the film. Nathan's never been outside of his hometown, so that was quite interesting, convey from real life and characters. The scene where we're in the prawn tank where we're fishing for prawns is a great one to shoot. That was a lot of fun, actually catching a prawn, because you can never guarantee when you're going to get one. So as soon as one gets in your line, everyone's like, "Pick up the camera, let's go, roll," because you got the prawn on the line, and that was quite funny. The themes within the film change from start to finish, because at the start you see Nathan as this very shy, lonely character who's sort of bullied and not abused, but he's not in any sort of social group. He has no way of expressing any sort of interaction with people. Even his mum, he has a really hard time interacting with her, and she senses that, and so that's definitely one of the strong themes at the start. And then as it develops and you meet Mr. Humphries, you meet Joe, and you meet his peers, you sort of look at it on a wider scale about people and society and acceptance. I think those are the really core themes of the film. I think people are gonna enjoy the reality of the film, and that it's not overdone, it's not overplayed. The relationship between Nathan and Joe, which is sort of core to the story, and his character development is, yeah, it's believable and it's sort of understandable in a way, and that's definitely something in a film where you see characters interacting in a way that's totally unnatural, it's sort of quite hard to watch. So I think this very naturalistic, even the way it's shot is very natural. It really helps you relate to the characters and understand them and appreciate it more.